Roll call, please. Here.
Here.
Are there any conflict of interest statements?
No, ma'am.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of September 26, 2024.
I recommend approval.
Are there any bid openings? I don't see any. Matters from other department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving right along. Correspondence, letter A. Correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval of the reassignment of Corporal Timothy Kreischer from Uniform Patrol Division to the Detective Bureau with specialty pay effective October 1st, 2024, and the reinstatement of Corporal Alexander Montano effective September 25th, 2024.
I recommend Chief Short's request.
And I concur. Letter B, correspondence received from Dean Button recommending the removal of certain signs near the closed schools of Clark High School, Gavitt High School, Wallace Elementary School, and Kenwood Elementary School, and to be repurposed for existing active school.
Good morning to the board.
Mr. Butler.
Had a meeting with the Chief of Staff and the Director of Public Works to review certain signs that were in and around the area recently closed elementary and high schools. Obviously, the high schools have been closed for some time. We were receiving correspondence through See-Click-Fix about, particularly about the school zone around Kenwood School, where they have a flashing light at 4 approaches to Kenwood School. And so it had me thinking about what we should do. So I made a list of the recommended signs that we would remove. I want to particularly note that we are not removing any of the crosswalk signs, even though they're symboled as a school crosswalk. They'll remain as the school symbol, but it'll remain a crosswalk, and we're not taking any of those signs down. But this includes, changing the speed limit back to the statutory speed limit from 20 miles per hour because it's no longer a school zone and so forth. And so I'd ask for your approval of this action, pending notification to the council, 7-day notification.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Letter C, correspondence received from the Controller's Office requesting the approval of the renewal of the amusement device licenses for Sportsman's Tap.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter D, correspondence received from Kelly Kearney requesting the bids that were opened on April 4th, 2024 be awarded to the lowest responsible and responsive bidder for the following properties: 5629 Calumet and 5627, J&M Industrial Services for $87,300, 918 Willow Court, Acting Contracting for $13,410, 54 Mason, Acting Contracting LLC, $30,850, 4625 Sheffield, Acting Contracting LLC, $6,000, 1021 Moss, JM Industrial Services, $13,700, 2104 Sherman, Acting Contracting LLC, $7,900.
I recommend Mr. Kearney's request.
And I concur. Are there, letter number 8, matters from board members. You want to talk about that other thing?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Was that that's on?
You want to talk about the cost?
We have 3 Mayor's Night Out complaints concerning crosswalk or signs, and we have the recommendations of the PD from the traffic studies. One was for 7,000 block of Monroe, 7,100 block of Harrison. The 7,000 block of Monroe, the traffic study showed that 97.5% of the vehicles were below the posted speed. And then the one for 7,100 Harrison, they were slightly higher. They said 19.6% of the vehicles were below the posted speed limit also.
Yeah, so thanks for bringing this up. So this, if I remember right, the 7,000 block was, appeared to be of no significant concern. The 7,100 block of Monroe was definitely elevated, right? There were, the average speed limit was in excess of the statutory speed limit. So I got additional details from, I think it's
Sparks.
Lieutenant Sparks?
Yes.
Yes.
Lieutenant Sparks. And so I have some concern over the elevated speed limit on the 7,100 block. So the rule is that if the 85th percentile is more than 45 miles, more than 15 miles an hour over the statutory speed limit, or the posted speed limit, in this case, 30 miles an hour. So if they were driving, if the top 15% of the people were over 45 miles per hour, we would want to do something about that. This was below that number, right? So
Yeah, it was-
I want to keep an eye on this in particular. Right now, there's no action, but I am concerned that people are driving fast, and I would ask PD to maybe try to escalate their response in this area, because it definitely seems like people are speeding, but not enough to make a significant change at this stage.
Okay.
But it does cause me concern. I think the other one was the Harrison Street,
71 Harrison was the
She wanted
elevated one.
a crosswalk.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a few items on that one in particular. It's my understanding that the crosswalk individual, Mr. Freeman,
Yeah.
had taken a look at it and had not indicated that there was a need to have a crossing guard at this location. We looked at it. It doesn't require a stop sign. It doesn't meet the traffic warrants for a stop sign. While it is on the route to the school, it is far enough away from the school where we wouldn't normally just put up stop signs for this purpose. We are looking at the request from her about adding sidewalks between Harrison and Edison School, because that's a route that kids could take, and there's no direct path. All that being said, I would recommend that we refer to the 7,100 block to PD, and that no other action be taken on the other items.
7,100 Harrison. All right, I'm going to recommend that we send 7,100 block of Harrison to HPD for traffic enforcement.
Thank you.
I concur.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dean. Number 9, new business. Letter A, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 1463 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Good morning, Madam President and Board. This property has been rehabbed per, I think Mr. Luter let me know that, or maybe it's Mr. Pajic. Oh, you're right. It was Mr. Batista. That's right. So that has been rehabbed and recommended to come off the demo list. So I'd recommend it to be approved as presented.
Okay. I recommend approval.
And I concur. Letter B, order to rescind and release order to demolish for property located at 5661 Soul Avenue.
Yes, this is they've been rehabbing this for a while. I believe it's been completed. It's satisfied all inspections, and we're dealing with releasing the bond as soon as costs are paid. And that goes for the last one, too. As soon as costs are paid, we'll release and rescind. They paid? Okay, Linda says they paid. So I would request it to be approved as presented.
Okay. I recommend approval for that one also.
And I concur. Letter C, water extension and confirmation agreement submitted for approval.
Request its approval, please, as presented.
I recommend approval.
And I concur. Disposal authorizations received from the Hammond Police Department submitted for approval.
I recommend approval of as presented. Sorry.
I concur. Request for rental registration hearing submitted for approval.
I recommend we set that for October 17th.
And I concur. Letter F, garage sale permits submitted for approval. Just a second. Good to go.
Okay. I recommend approval of the garage sales.
And I concur. Letter G, right-of-way permits received from engineering submitted for approval.
I don't believe there's any.
We have
We have one.
We have
Oh, okay.
one,
Which one is that?
630, wait a minute, 6427 New Jersey.
Oh, that's probably for a driveway.
I'll check.
It's, sorry, I know, it's, he's replacing, he has a service walk that just cuts across the parkway.
Yes.
He's replacing it.
That's fine. No worries.
I recommend approval.
And I concur.
you,
Number
sir.
10, old business, gas station exemption renewal, 3350 Calumet Avenue.
Good morning to the board. Assistant City Planner, Mr. Tom Novak's also present here to help on this. This is the Gasaroo up on Sheffield. I don't know if anybody here is here for the gas station. Don't see anyone. So they've requested the extension as they are supposed to do for the being able to stay after midnight for the next year. According to Mr. Novak, his report that he submitted to the board back in September of last year, there are 2 items that remain. Every other item has been complied with, and I believe Lieutenant Godey has also informed us that the cameras are working and operable in this location. The 2 items that remain are they still have signs in many windows that cover more than 25% of the windows, which of course is a concern, a safety concern. And we also have some trucks and vehicles that are stacked in front of the truck wash building. So I'll let Mr. Novak answer any questions about those. We do have some updated photos that he took that I'll present to the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first stapled ones kind of show the signage issue. So, and just to be clear, you know, they got a dumpster enclosure up like they were supposed to. They restriped the ADA space. They've cleaned up, you know, the U-Haul trucks that were parked and moved, you know, pretty much everything onto pavement. So they have cleaned up a bit at the gas station. The issue at the gas station with the signs, so, you know, where the actual lobby where customers browse, those windows are compliant, but there are some windows at back rooms and then along the cashier. You know, at the front corner of the building, there's the cashier area. You know, they can see out, but you can't really see in through those windows, and they've also put some of their tobacco stock and stuff up in the window shelving. So they claim that they wanted that so that, you know, people can't spy in and see when they're counting money and things like that or changing shifts. But I know that this has been a concern back and forth of being able to see into the cash register area.
So I don't have a problem with the board considering the renewal of the issue. And to me, I think at this point, if they're non-compliant, I would just ask Mr. Novak to cite them regarding these issues and let that be dealt with through citation. If that's the only way that we're going to get compliance, but.
Yeah, and I said I'd come back and talk to them again after we had this meeting, so they may be willing to comply in some way. And the only other issue was not at the gas station itself, but that truck wash building is also a truck repair shop. There's 2 units in there. The gas station leases out. And there is just a lot of cars triple and double parked and blocking bay doors and things like that, so.
It's like a citation issue with their tenant.
And that's kind of how that's how I felt as well. I did speak to them and explain maybe we can start storing some of the cars in the back behind a fenced area, but, yeah.
I'm good, yeah. I mean, so we're just going to handle this with a citation then and?
I mean, as long as Mr. Novak, I mean, the other alternative would be to conditionally approve the extension pending compliance within a certain number of days. But, I mean, to me, the main thrust of our response of Mr. Novak's letter of last year has been responded to. There's a couple lingering items which we do want them to come to compliance with. If Mr. Novak feels that they're significant enough that we should condition the exception on their compliance, we can do that.
I'm fine with the citation idea.
Okay.
You know, I'll have another conversation with them, and if it doesn't get us anywhere, I'll cite.
So we're going to recommend approval for the continuing of the.
Yeah, the exception to the midnight rule, yep.
All right, I recommend the approval of the exception gas station hearing for 3350 Calumet.
I concur. Letter B, status on 7235 State Line.
50.
I'm sorry, 5235 State Line. Thank you.
You're welcome, Madam President.
Good morning. So we are here on June 27th. This is the old Judy's Music Store on State Line Avenue. Mr. Flores, of course, is here. Mr. Flores is here, along with his contractor. In June, rough inspections were done. Mr. Luter requested 90 days, and we set it for status today, and that's why we're here. I think Mr. Luter you have an update?
Yes, whatever they have. I did get a chance to speak with the contractor earlier this week. I think we're hanging drywall and getting ready to do the finished work. So the residential portion on the second floor, he may be able to give you a better end date as far as when that can be completed. And I think we agreed that the commercial space on the bottom floor, till they figured out what the use was going to be, we were going to rescind the order once they got the residential portion done. Go ahead.
Yeah, we working on the drywall, first and second floor, and almost we are close over finish.
So how much longer do you think it'll take? Mr. Soto, can you move over to the mic a little bit? Just come up to the mic so they can hear you.
Yeah, I guess like for the first floor, the second floor is I think it's around 1 month like we done.
1 month?
Yeah, I think 1 month. If you want to put 2 months, but I think it's 1 month.
60 days.
60 days.
60-day status?
Yeah, it's fine.
December 5th?
Yeah, it's okay.
All right, I recommend set this for status for December 5th, 2024.
And I concur. Thank you, Mr. Soto. Thank you, sir. Letter C, status, I'm sorry. Finish. You're done? Okay. Letter C, status for 1430 Stanton.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this was last up on September 5th. Mr. Grabarczyk, who is here today, had failed to appear on April 4th and also on September 5th, and so we were concerned about status on this. He did indicate that he was having some financial issues back in March. We did send a letter on September 5th indicating that demolition would begin in approximately 10 days or after the next status, which is today. I would note that my letter to him addressed to 1430 Stanton did come back as attempted, not known, unable to forward. So if he has an updated address, I would appreciate that. And he's here today, so we can talk about whether we're going to knock the building down or what the status is.
Right, and I did get to speak with Mr. Grabarczyk prior to the meeting. He came in after he received the letter. There was a miscommunication in the original email notification of the date, so he technically was given the wrong date. I think it was corrected, but he didn't see the corrected email in time for the September 5th date. I think it was actually sent out for the 6th as a typo. But he did come in. I believe he can express that he wants to finish the project, and we'll let him address the board.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah, it's pretty simple. I ran out of money. I've secured a $30,000 loan, and I saved almost $15,000. So I should be able to get this done. Another 90 days. I'm almost done already. It's got a new roof. I got to get plumbing straightened out, and then it's pretty much just patching the walls and doing the floor.
Have there been any inspections?
Yeah.
Or-
Not recently, no.
Okay, because you said he's got a new roof and he's been
Yeah.
working on it.
Roof is definitely been.
That was a while ago, right?
Okay.
Exterior's been completed, it's the interior that.
So he's got to get a plumber yet, Mr. Luter?
I have one supposed to give me a quote on Friday,
Okay.
so I should have one hired by next week.
Oh, okay. All right, so 90 days?
Sounds like 90 days. Mr. Grabarczyk, do you have a new address I can make
Yeah.
sure we give you good?
Yes, it's 7126 McCook Avenue,
In Hammond,
Hammond, Indiana.
46323?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's where we'll send it to you. 90 days?
90 days.
It's Jan,
How about January 9th, everybody,
for 2025.
2025?
Yep.
That's 90 days ago.
Thank you.
All right, I recommend we set this status for 1430 Stanton for January 9th, 2025.
Okay, and I concur.
Thank you.
Letter D, status for 7601 Golfway Court.
Okay. 7601 Golfway, big file. Had it up twice now. This one actually, I think we originally set it for status today because of a expiration of a former agreement. The owner has signed a first extension agreement, which has been approved by the board, I believe. And the board set it for December 12th. So I think we're all set for December 12th status.
Oh, okay.
So no action.
Right.
Okay.
And notice has gone out to the owner for a December 12th status, so I think we're good to go.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no action on that. Letter E, status for 251 Detroit Street.
Okay, 251 Detroit. So we were concerned because Ms. De La Paz had last appeared on June 28th. We set it for status on August 1st, but Ms. De La Paz did not appear at that. We did note that the bond had been waived. She was looking for new estimates. We reset it again for the 22nd of August. She failed to appear. And then on September 5th, we reset it, and she had failed to appear, and Mr. Luter asked for a December 3rd, and that we send a letter to Ms. De La Paz. We did send that letter, and she's here. So I think we just need an update on the work and where we are on the home.
Hi. I did get an estimate for the plumbing. At the moment, they gave me an estimate for between 10 to 15,000, which I don't have at the moment because I had just gotten the roof this year. I am planning to get the whole house painted and fixed, the outside and the 4 windows in the front, hopefully by the end of next month.
Yeah, and obviously we understand the constraints based on, estimates of 10 to 15 grand for plumbing. But if Ms. De La Paz is saying that the paint and the windows are going to be done by the end of November, let's just set it for an early December status and see where she's at, maybe that December 5th date.
That was it. Okay. December 5th, yeah? Is that all right with you? Okay. All right, I recommend we set this for status for December 5th.
And I
Thank you.
concur.
So Ms. De La Paz, do we need to send you another notice, or are you good with just knowing that we let you know
No,
December 5th?
That's fine. I'll
You know?
mark it down.
Okay, all right, December 5th, 9 a.m.
Letter F, status for 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
Okay, so I do see Ms. Arana here today, which is great news. This was another one that we had set it for status on July 6th. Then we set it for, I'm sorry, wait a minute, let me back up here. Ms. Arana was here on June 28th, and we set it for an 8-1 status because there had been no progress at the time. She'd indicated that she was going to hire a new contractor, and we needed 30 to 45 days for final inspections. On 8-1, there was no movement per Mr. Luter. We needed an update. 8-22, it was set, no, failed to appear. 9-5, 10-day note, it was set, failed to appear. We sent the 10-day letter letting Ms. Arana know that we were going to proceed with demolition because we hadn't heard from her. We sent a new letter letting her know there was a status set for October 3rd, and she's here. So we just need an update.
All right, so real quick, I know she gets a little nervous talking in public.
Okay?
We did speak before the meeting. She has reconciled with her previous contractor, who has agreed to come back on board and finish the job. Now, as far as that's going to take, I think it'll come down with the finances, so maybe she can shed a little light on it, but it does sound like she has a contractor in line. They do have to get a plumber in to finish the work and then continue moving forward. So she can explain a little more, hopefully.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. First of all, I want to thank the city of Hammond to give me the opportunity to finish my house. And I've been through to some financial issues. But I was talking to 70% of the property is already done. All the exterior is done. And I was speaking with a contractor. For some reason, he take another contract, and I was like, okay, and we need to continue, and that's a great news. I'm gonna just finish the plumbing job, and I said I'm gonna have him to apply for for the permit, probably tomorrow.
For status, yeah.
Yeah.
So we just want to make another status for this?
Yeah, I'd like to kind of set it waiting for 90 because I want to make sure that the work's being done. If we could set it for 45. And then that way we'll just kind of keep monitoring, maybe right after, what does that get us to? Like right after Thanksgiving or something?
Do you want to still stick with the December 5th?
Sure.
Yeah, because everybody will be out.
Yeah, okay. December, I recommend we set this for status for December 5th, 2024.
Thank you.
And
Okay,
I-
and
Sorry.
Sandy,
2024. No.
12/5.
12/5.
So Sandy, what's a good address for you? Because I keep sending these letters to 2314. Are you getting the mail there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll keep sending them there.
Yes, I proceed, yes.
But you may not, so are you okay with us letting you know December 5th now you'll show up?
Yes, sir.
You're
I
ordering to
promise.
appear, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Okay, December 5th.
So we'll see you December 5th then.
See you December 1st.
2024.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
December 5, number 5, December 5.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, letter G, status on First Baptist Church in Hammond. Chief Long was able to go out there and meet the guy on Sunday, and he saw no problem with moving forward with letting them block. There is a lane that's available for emergency vehicles to go through, so he didn't find it to be a problem. So his recommendation was that it was okay to do it. So that's going to be our position.
So is there a board motion to approve?
Yeah, I second.
Make-
Oh, sorry, I recommend approval, sorry.
Okay, make a motion, Doc.
Sorry.
I concur.
No.
Letter
Be different.
H was already covered earlier in the meeting. Letter I, late business license for R&R Food and Deli. This posterity is struggling today.
Is it is? Wow, that's all right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So this was the late fee appeal hearing where she just showed up a little too late, was in the mayor's office. And so this is a rehearing for 2024's license, or 25's, I'm sorry. So the most recent license expired in June of this year. So this is for the renewal for next year. This is the first time that they've filled out a request for an appeal. They were initially licensed in 21, registered on time for 22, and then for 23 and 24, they voluntarily paid a late fee when they were late, so this time they're requesting an appeal.
Hi, what's your name?
Mona.
Mona? Okay. Can you tell us why you're late?
So I came here in June and I asked to do the business license and they told me that tobacco license was expired. So I had to send out my papers, like the store papers and stuff, so I could get that tobacco license. So since then, I just been waiting on it to come in. So when the tobacco license came in, it came in like a couple weeks ago. And I came here that day, and they said, because I have a late fee, so they said I can do a waiver.
Okay. All right, so you understand that we don't like to waive late fees, consistently. So if we waive it this time, then you'll be responsible to come in next time
Yeah.
to pay on time. If you have to get some licenses ahead of time, make sure you plan that out so you can get those taken care of. So I think it's okay.
All right, I recommend we waive the late fee.
And I concur.
Thank you.
If you want to hold on till after here, we can get you this form so you can go down and take care of the license. Okay?
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Thank you.
You.
The meeting is now open to the public.
Chris?
Has dispersed.
I think you guys are doing great.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.